Sharyn, that is sport.
All right, thanks, Alissa. Well, time now for a check on the markets with finance editor Gemma Acton. And Gemma, how has the share market closed out the week?
Well, we've had a solid end to a robust week, boosted by news that central banks in both Canada and Europe cut interest rates in recent days. Meanwhile, today, insurance giant QBE locked in its highest close in 13 years. The Aussie dollar has taken another step higher and closer towards 67 US cents, while iron ore had a strong session overnight. And nearly 1 million Australian workers hold multiple jobs. It is a new record and equates to 6.7% of all employed people. A higher proportion of women than men hold multiple jobs, while 20 to 24-year-olds are the most likely cohort to be working in more than one place.
Gemma Acton there. The race is on to maximise your tax return before July 1.
Tonight we have your super hacks you need to do now to supersize your nest egg.
30-year-old Cody Drew is super savvy. The self-employed electrician has been putting an extra 4% into his retirement savings all year.
I'm putting money into super now because the tax cuts this year will be greater than next year.
It's not the only hack to supersize your super. You can contribute up to $27,500 annually and claim it as a tax deduction.
The tax deduction is greater this year than it will be next year. So if you put an extra $10,000 into super this year, you're going to get a bigger tax deduction for that, which is more money in your pocket now.
Now is also the time to salary sacrifice things like your car, pay health insurance and make charity donations. There are also benefits if you sell an investment property, unloading some of the capital gains into super.
If you have unused concessional contributions from your previous years, then you're able to top up your super, provided your super balance is below $500,000.
Instead of spending your tax cut from July 1, experts say put it in your super fund. An extra $100 a month over the next 25 years will add around $60,000 to your retirement savings. While Host Plus is the best performing super fund over the past 10 years, you don't need an industry fund for success.
The ups and downs don't really matter. What really matters is how much you're going to have when you do retire.
And if you've been slack with your super, it's never too late to catch up.
It's either you put it in, you invest it into your future, or you are invested into the now.
Samantha Heathwood, 7 News.
Desperate Holden owners are being driven to extreme measures. Why the days could be numbered for a former national icon.
And cold weather settling in with these westerly winds. All your weekend weather forecast, everybody, is coming up after the break.
The Holden Commodore is fast disappearing from our roads as a critical shortage of parts forces many to be written off. Owners are desperate to preserve their piece of motoring history, but insurers say they're too expensive to repair.
For Commodore lovers, it's a sad sight. A graveyard for the nation's once top-selling car.
We love fun, rolling, mice, kangaroos and Holden cars.
Enthusiasts are battling to keep their iconic Australian-made cars on the road, raiding wreckers for vital components amid a critical parts shortage. Even used bumpers, bonnets and doors have doubled in price.
It's cheaper for the insurance companies to pay them out these days because it's hard to get the parts and they're so expensive, so they just write off the car.
More than ever, doting owners are fighting to preserve the legend.
Holden Monaro quickly takes the lead.
The Kingswood? You're not taking the Kingswood.
Bruce Lethborg has been waiting months for a replacement bumper for his beloved 1992 VP Commodore.
Member's got various cars from the 60s right through to the 90s and 2000s, of course, and yeah, they're all experiencing issues with getting certain mainly panels and trims and switches.
General Motors claims the parts shortage is due to their moulded plastic supplier going into administration. The car company says it's been working with administrators and hopes that production will restart in around 3 months. Commodore tragics are banking on it.
What's so good about Commodores?
Aussie, Aussie, oi, oi, oi.
Jackie Quist, 7 News.
Weather now, here's Bertie.
Oh, Maxie, it's freezing out here. G'day, everybody. That cool westerly wind. It's about 16 degrees across the coastal strip. A little bit cool, obviously, in the west, but what we're seeing now is just cutting to the bone. It looks as though another cool night ahead. And for the weekend, dry weather, everyone, for the next several days. But unfortunately, it's those nights and those mornings that'll be feeling rather brisk. Today's temps, everyone, climb to highs of 19 to 20 degrees, 21 along the coastal strip, down to 13 overnight for Greenbank. To the charts now, you can see that trough that's pushed off the eastern seaboard, still affecting areas south of Sydney around Wollongong, bringing up some pretty hefty swell on the southern coast there of New South Wales. The rest of the country remains fairly cloud-free under the influence of a high-pressure ridge. However, we can see that trough approaching southwestern parts of WA into South Australia tomorrow. Now, as we look around the country, we're going to see a little bit of shower activity from Sydney, obviously from that low and that trough pushed off. Possible shower for Canberra, 5 to 17 degrees, and into Melbourne, 8 to 15, but clear skies to the tropical north. And speaking of clear skies, Cairns all the way through to Mackay looking stunning, 12 to 27 for Townsville. Similar conditions all the way from Rockhampton straight down through to Hervey Bay, 9 to 22 degrees, a little bit cooler around Maryborough, down to 6, 3 to 22 for Gympie. On the range at Toowoomba, a little bit of patchy cloud, but plenty of sunshine, 5 to 15. As we take a look across the southeast, hardly a cloud in the sky, maybe around Ipswich, just 1 or 2, but not a lot. 5 to 22, 9 to 21 for Redcliffe, Bayside and Gold Coast, 6 to 22, 8 to 22 for the Sunshine Coast. Similar for Caboolture on the water, westerly winds 15 knots. It'll be calm along the western foreshores, a bit choppy in the exposed waters. 9 to 22 in the city, clear skies running through till next week, looking stunning. 10 to 23 the average, similar for Ipswich, a little bit cooler overnight, down to 5. Highs at 24 to 25. Gold Coast, beautiful run all the way through as well. 12 to 22 starting up for next week. And the Sunshine Coast, looking great. Put the brollies away, enjoy the sunshine, and around 9 to 22. Let's check the waterways for tomorrow, everybody. On the surfing scene, if you're keen to get out there, looks as though we're going to see some pretty good waves about for those on the small swell magnets. It's less than a metre. It's not big, but it's going to grow by mid next week. Couple of metres forecast by Wednesday into Thursday. So the small swell magnets, TOS on South Straddie has been going off. Always holds some pretty good action there. And also down around the Tweedback beaches and D-Bar. Up on the top end of sunshine weather look as well, Kawana, but you're going to find those open stretches holding a few little peelers on the morning tide, but not a lot on offer as yet. But a nice day still on the water. Water temp 22, 23. Fishing wise, being plenty of good catches of reef fish out on the wider 42 and 50 fathom grounds due east of Mooloolaba, Caloundra wide, and also east of Point Lookout and off the Gold Coast Pin region. Thank you for that sea probe. And plenty of cephalopods or squid around Peel Island at the moment, if you're keen to have a look at those. So arrow squid also down in the Gold Coast Broadwater near wave breaks.
Thanks, Bertie, and that is all from us this Friday.
From all the team, have a good night.
Good night.